When one is running an organization, one likes to see it successful. Certainly not every organization is successful. The founders of the IASLC, I think, would be proud of where it is at the moment. They wanted to have a society that brought the latest and greatest research advances to people on a worldwide basis and in a multidisciplinary basis, and have as rapid dissemination as possible. They envisioned that this multidisciplinary nature and this worldwide nature would be extremely important. And I think throughout its history, the IASLC has maintained that multidisciplinary nature, the interactive nature, the rapid dissemination nature, as well as close interactions and friendships which facilitate all those things.
The IASLC has played an enormous role in the way in which we understand lung cancer better, the way in which we treat lung cancer better, and with our partners in the pharmaceutical industry, we've pioneered new developments in biomarkers and biological and personalized treatment for lung cancer. So it's a success story. We should be proud of that.
Well, I think IASLC will always be an organization that will bring the lung cancer community together. It's an organization that brings all disciplines related to lung cancer together. And many organizations don't do that. You know, a pathology group doesn't have many medical oncologists coming to its meeting. A radiology group may have no one from the clinical community, treating community, coming to its meetings. And this is one of the beauties of the lung cancer, of the IASLC. It brings the entire lung cancer community together, and we learn from each other, and we learn the importance also of multimodality therapies and respecting all of the modalities of our colleagues. And I think that will only grow and get stronger.
Oh, there's no question there's been fantastic progress, and when you just recognise that in 1991 there were 1,200 people willing to sort of attend a conference, and now it's gone to 7,000, at least people are interested in treating the disease. It's still not regarded as, if you like, as glamorous a cancer, if I can use that word, as maybe breast cancer or the hematologic cancers. But we have seen not only the developments in targeted therapies and the unravelling of the genetics of many of the cancers, but the way we do things in radiotherapy is quite different.
I joined IASLC in 1980 because at the 1970s, just the lung cancer incidence rate was increasing, and my interest is clarified the carcinogenic process of squamous cell carcinoma of the lung, particularly central type, centrally located lung cancer. Therefore, I just to know the, any other knowledge from the internationally. Therefore, and at the time, IASLC hold a World Conference on Lung Cancer every 3 years, and some workshops. So not that the activity of IASLC is not so very much, and it was a very important opportunity to exchange our mutual problems and the knowledge internationally, and it was the reason why I joined the IASLC.
If you look over that span of time, of course, we've gone from the Neanderthal age into the space age. It's really remarkable if you think back that we spent so much time figuring out how to give this chemotherapy drug in a different way or in a different combination, matching drug A with drug B. And most of those things didn't work out because they were very crude tools. They were like the Neanderthal, with his axe. And now, basically, we have smart bombs. So that's what's happened in the 40 years.
When I joined a small society, at this moment, the number of members is still not so big, but at this time very small. And but a very famous doctor joined, and we became very good friends. We had many friends, global friends.
If you know the history of lung cancer, it means you've been around a long time. So I guess that's something to think about. But it's really amazing to see the progress in lung cancer. Lung cancer is a disease of this century, as you know, and it's become the biggest cause of cancer deaths in the Western world and many parts of the globe, in fact. And it's amazing to see the changes that have occurred since I first started training, when there was a lot of nihilism and negativity when I first started training, because there weren't very many effective treatments at that time. And things have changed considerably since then. We have now very effective treatments, both traditional, conventional chemotherapies as well as new targeted therapies. And for the first time recently, the effectiveness of CT screening has been shown in a large study. So I think things are on the improve, and hopefully that will translate into real benefits such as survival benefits for our patients. We already know that many of the treatments are better tolerated by the patients and their quality of life has already improved.
Well, the ISLC has been rewarding to me because at the very beginning, after I first presented at one of their meetings, then ran one of their meetings, and eventually got on to the executive of the organization and became a senior member of it. And so I got to know the inside, you might say, of the organization. And so that was the beginning. And then I always remained on committees and was involved in other aspects of the organization over many years, which kept me very abreast of all the changes in oncology and basically up to date in how to deal with it. And I don't think I missed any of the 3-yearly or 2-yearly meetings over the years, because they're always useful both for the information one learns while you're there, but also to interact with people with similar interests and with excellent knowledge about the cancer.
Lung cancer has changed over my working career. My working career at this point has been about 20 years, give or take a little. And in that time, this disease has gone from one where we had limited opportunity to do things for people with advanced lung cancer to a disease where, in many ways, lung cancer is leading the field in understanding molecular abnormalities and personalising treatment based on those molecular abnormalities. And that is a very radical shift.
There's been more and more world participation. There's been more multidisciplinary participation, and there's been a lot more cutting-edge research presented at these meetings. So it's now, for somebody like myself who's interested in lung cancer, it's one of those meetings you can't afford to miss, because there's so much being presented, a lot of dialogue, and then of course all the leaders in lung cancer around the world are at the meeting. So, it's a chance to talk with those folks and rub elbows, do a little politicking, all those fun things.
Oh yes, I certainly feel that there is progress, and there are two simplifying things, there are two domains, large domains of progress. The one is the patients with local and locally advanced disease, non-metastatic patients. The refinements that we have made in terms of diagnosis, staging, functional assessment, they are crucial in making the best choices of a multidisciplinary therapy, including chemotherapy, surgery, radiotherapy, combinations of these things. And there, the progress that we made in both the overall assessment and the therapy of the patients has certainly led to increased cure rates in these patients. We cure more patients with early and locally advanced non-small cell lung cancer than we did in the past.
I firmly believe that science is best sought through collaborations, that the Thomas Edison solitary inventor model was great back then, but today it's so broad and so diffuse, the different specialties and the amount of information that we have to pull together to make an effective therapy for our patients or to learn things about this disease. So that's really only accomplished through collaborations. And you can collaborate with the guy down the hall from you or the guy in the building next to you or even the guy in the next town or down the street. But in reality, this is a global effort. And the one thing that impressed me about the IASLC was the I in IASLC, that it's fundamentally international and that we can interact with the best and the brightest around the world, and not just interact with them, but promote science in these areas to help the people around the world participate in the revolution that we're seeing in lung cancer care.
For me, looking at surgeon's viewpoint, ISCC is very balanced and a specialty. But people respect each other, different specialty, and people know everything is necessary. This is a total strategy against lung cancer to treat the patient. The good thing for ISCC is people will recognize the necessity of whole part of specialties.
What I would dream is that we put ourselves out of business. That is truly what I dream. Sometimes I've had the sense that colleagues are worried about that, and to those colleagues I say, you guys, not in our lifetime. It's not happening in our lifetime, and I can demonstrate that epidemiologically. It's not going to be in our lifetime. But if we know right now that the number one cause of death and disease in developed economies is tobacco related, and gradually that's going into developing economies too, and it's due to oligopolies of tobacco industry, that's just ethically wrong. So I want any organization that I'm with to say it is ethically wrong as a society that we are allowing more and more people to die, suffer and die from something that we can prevent. So for the future for ISLC, and you were talking about leadership, is that how can I share my very strong voice to say that it's critical as an organization, as a people, that we are working to have fewer people die from a preventable disease.
As you all know, ISS has grown tremendously last 2 decades. The number of membership, in terms of especially participation, global participation, has been fantastic growth. I think the need for our patients to support their need to organizations like ISSC.
I believe that the ISSC will contribute more in the future of lung cancer because we still need to work together. And one important point that I want to mention is the program of the ISSC for the fellows. There is no future for lung cancer without fellows. And when I became member of this association, they're aware, and there are programs for fellows in terms of webinar, of meetings, of grants. And more than this, there are grants that are specific for each country, and this is very important because we know that there are differences between US and the eastern part of Europe or China, so it's important to have a good program. So the future of lung cancer is young researcher, and in this context I believe that the ISSC will be able to help us to reach other results in this context.
These days we are moving very fast into personalized medicine of lung cancer. That means a multidisciplinary approach to the management of lung cancer. And that needs very close collaboration between the different disciplines in the planning, in the management of the patients. And I hope that ISLC can facilitate this multidisciplinary approach. So it is my goal trying to bring more and more other disciplines into the organization.